Hey, I'm Johnny Rashid, and I'm one of the Circle of Hope pastors. And I want to offer you a blessing because Sundays aren't enough. We want to stay connected in all the ways that we can during this pandemic when we're so disconnected. This is one of those ways. We've just entered the season of Advent. Advent is the season before Christmas where we await the birth of Jesus. It's a season of anticipation, of expectation, and a little bit of mystery. Not sure what's going to come. Of course, we know as Christians that Jesus is born, Jesus lived, Jesus died and resurrected. But in the season of Advent, we enter into the drama of waiting for him to be born. And we also remember that we're waiting for him to return. We're in our own Advents right now as we await Christ to come again. Advent's a time for reflection on what good things need to be born, what hope needs to be brought forward. And one way to really understand the hope that's coming is to lament where it isn't now. Lamentation is a discipline, it's a Christian discipline. And being able to do it allows us to feel all the feelings that we need to without succumbing to despair. We're free to lament because we know we will be delivered. We know that help is on the way. But in Advent, we can fully enter into that lamentation. And one of the ways that we're doing that this season is by having hours of lamentation. There's one happening on Saturday morning and then another one on Monday night. And if you go to circleofhope.net/Advent, you can follow along for how we'll do some public lamentation. But for now, I want you to see in your life and in the world around you where you need to lament, what you need to lament. I was just reading in the Washington Post about how there are many, many families in Mexico that have disappeared, and the border crisis has made it even worse. The numbers are going up annually, and people are being lost. They can't even be found. That sort of crisis is worthy of lamentation. We also have a climate catastrophe around us, where we are not sure if we're going to pull it together before the globe warms a little bit more, causing massive destruction. And so we lament this condition that we're in, that we participate in, and we cry out for God to help. I also lament police brutality, especially when it's racialized. I lament that the police target and kill black men more than their white counterparts. I also lament this pandemic, which took nearly 3,000 people from us yesterday, and how the numbers are going up. And I lament that we must be apart from each other. We had to be away from one another during Thanksgiving, and it looks like we're going to have to be away from each other during Christmas. So I lament that. And on this first week of Advent, I lament with the prophets of the Old Testament. They were expert lamenters because they felt what God felt. They empathized with God's feeling, and when God was angry or God was sad, they felt it too. And they lamented when Israel went astray from God, and they lamented when Israel allied with evil powers, and they lamented as they were in captivity, awaiting their Messiah to come. They lamented in anticipation for what we are waiting for in Advent, for Emmanuel to come, for God to be with us. And so this week, as we remember those prophets, may we be free to lament. May they give us the permission and the fortitude and the ability and the gift to lament. So go search in your life and look at the world around you, and do so without fear. You don't need to mute your feelings, and it's really hard to mute them during this dreaded 2020. Go ahead and feel what you need to feel. Practice lamentation. In one way you can keep it from overcoming you and overwhelming you is to share that lamentation. Share it with your cell. If you're not connected to a cell, now's a good time to do that. Share it with your household. Share it with your family. Share it with the people around you, and encourage them to share as well, because our mutual experience, our mutual feeling of lamentation together might even give us hope in our own common humanity as we await Jesus to enter our humanity. in the season to come. Go in peace.